You do everything right. You eat well, you try to stay active, and every single morning, like clockwork, you swallow your daily multivitamin. You do it because you want to protect your health, maintain your independence, and keep your energy up. You trust the label on the bottle. But what if I told you that the very pill you take to stay young and healthy is exactly what might be making your joints ache, your brain foggy, and your heart work twice as hard? By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly how to audit your medicine cabinet. You will know how to identify 4 hidden, potentially toxic liabilities that you need to discuss with your doctor immediately. And, just as importantly, you will discover the 4 clinically backed nutrients you actually need to protect your aging brain, bones, and heart. I'm Dr. Marcus Thorne. In my practice, I see a heartbreaking pattern every single week. I see people over 60 who are trying so hard to protect their health, but who are suffering because they are unknowingly following outdated biological instructions. They feel exhausted, they feel stiff, and they are told by well-meaning friends or even other doctors, well, you're just getting older. But before we dive into the exact vitamins causing this, I want to ask you a quick question. It helps me understand exactly what you are dealing with. How many different vitamins or supplements do you take every morning? Is it just one basic multivitamin, or are you taking a whole handful of different pills? Let me know your number in the comments below. Here is the most important concept I need you to understand today. The vitamins and supplements you are taking aren't necessarily malicious. The food industry and supplement companies aren't putting poison in those bottles. The actual problem is that your body's internal filtration system has fundamentally changed, but the labels on the back of your vitamin bottles haven't. We call this the metabolic shift. Think about your body like a highly advanced water filtration plant. When you are 30 or 40 years old, your liver and your kidneys are incredibly efficient at filtering out excess chemicals, including high doses of synthetic vitamins. If you swallow a massive dose of a vitamin you don't need, your younger body simply flushes the excess out. It clears the system fast. But when you turn 60, 65, or 70, that metabolic clearance rate naturally slows down. It is a normal part of human aging. Your liver processes fat-soluble compounds slower. Your kidneys don't filter out water-soluble excesses quite as rapidly. The metabolic shift means that your body holds on to things longer. The tragedy is that the FDA guidelines and the daily value percentages printed on the back of your multivitamin bottle are often based on the metabolism of a younger adult. The labels do not update when your body does. You are giving a 65-year-old liver instructions meant for a 30-year-old system. Let me show you what that looks like in the real world. Let's call her Elaine. Elaine is a 68-year-old retired teacher from Phoenix, Arizona. She came into my clinic a few years ago feeling completely defeated. She had this deep, heavy chronic fatigue that wouldn't go away no matter how much she slept. She also had a constant, dull, throbbing ache in her knuckles and her knees. She sat in the chair across from my desk, let out a long sigh, and told me, "Dr. Thorne, I guess this is just what getting older is supposed to feel like. I'm just wearing out." But my gut told me she wasn't just wearing out. Elaine was incredibly diligent about her health. She proudly told me she took a popular, name-brand, senior multivitamin every single day for the last 12 years, along with an extra energy supplement. She thought she was building a shield around her health. When we ran her comprehensive blood work, I found the culprit. Her serum ferritin, the protein that stores iron in your cells, was dangerously high. Elaine had severe iron overload. Because she had gone through menopause years ago, she was no longer losing blood monthly. Her 68-year-old metabolism simply did not need the extra iron packed into her generic daily multivitamin, and her aging filtration system couldn't flush it out fast enough. Her body was hoarding it. That synthetic iron wasn't giving her energy, it was doing the exact opposite. It was creating massive oxidative stress in her tissues. It was literally rusting her from the inside out, triggering systemic inflammation that settled directly into her joints and drained her daily energy. It wasn't her age causing the pain. It was the healthy pill she swallowed every morning with her coffee. We immediately stopped her multivitamin and switched her to a targeted iron-free regimen based on her actual blood work. Within 6 weeks, Elaine's joint pain eased dramatically. The heavy fog of fatigue lifted. She hadn't been aging prematurely at all. She had just been unknowingly poisoning herself with outdated instructions. It is not your fault if this is happening to you. It is a failure of the system to explain the metabolic shift to the public. Your liver and kidneys are holding on to things they used to easily clear away. And right now, there are 4 specific vitamins, very likely sitting in your kitchen cabinet or your pill organizer, that are the absolute worst offenders after age 60. Let's open that medicine cabinet together. Here are the 4 vitamins you need to approach with extreme caution, starting with a very common one that might be quietly threatening the rhythm of your heart. The first trap hiding in plain sight is synthetic vitamin A, often listed on the back of your bottle as retinol or retinol palmitate. When you were younger, you likely learned that vitamin A is fantastic for your eyes, your skin, and your immune system. And from whole foods, it absolutely is. But synthetic retinol in a daily pill is a completely different story. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. That means your body does not just flush out the excess in your urine the way it does with vitamin C, it stores it in your liver. And because of the metabolic shift we just talked about, an aging liver clears these fat-soluble compounds much slower. Over years of taking a daily multivitamin, that synthetic retinol can silently accumulate to toxic levels. Clinical data has shown that this slow accumulation doesn't just damage your liver over time, it actually thins your bones and significantly increases your risk of cardiovascular issues, specifically atrial fibrillation or AFib. Your heart rhythm can literally be thrown off by the accumulation of a vitamin you thought was protecting you. What you want to look for on your label is beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is a precursor to vitamin A. It is safe because your body is remarkably smart. It will only convert beta-carotene into active vitamin A when it actually needs it, leaving the rest alone. But if your bottle says retinol, you are forcing your liver to process it, ready or not. The second trap is the one that caught Elaine: iron. People associate iron with energy. If you feel sluggish, the old advice was to take some iron to build up your blood. But here is what most people miss. Unless you are actively losing blood, which postmenopausal women and older men generally are not, your body acts like a sponge for iron. Without a way to naturally release it, iron builds up in your tissues and organs. In an older body, excess iron is a highly reactive metal. It causes severe oxidative stress. Imagine leaving a bicycle out in the rain. It rusts. That is essentially what excess iron does inside your arteries, your joints, and your brain. It drives up systemic inflammation. You should never, under any circumstances, take a multivitamin containing iron after age 60 unless your doctor has run a specific blood test, a serum ferritin panel, and diagnosed you with a clear clinical deficiency. If you are not deficient, that daily iron is not giving you energy. It is quietly rusting your system. That brings us to the third trap, and this one is going to surprise a lot of people because it has been pushed on seniors for decades. I am talking about high doses of isolated calcium. We have all been told that to prevent osteoporosis and protect our aging bones, we need to take massive calcium supplements. But calcium is what I call a rogue mineral. By itself, it is essentially blind. It does not know where to go. I once treated a 74-year-old woman in Chicago. Let's call her Barbara. Barbara was terrified of breaking a hip, so she dutifully chewed 2 massive, high-dose calcium tablets every single morning. She thought she was building a fortress out of her skeleton. But a few years later, a scan revealed severe vascular calcification. Her arteries were hardening. Because Barbara was taking isolated calcium without its biological partners, that mineral wasn't making it into her bones. Instead, it was floating aimlessly in her bloodstream and depositing itself onto the walls of her arteries, turning soft, flexible blood vessels into rigid, hardened pipes. An unsupervised mineral in an aging body is a massive liability. Calcium needs vitamin D3 to be absorbed, and critically, it needs vitamin K2 to act as the traffic cop, directing the calcium out of the bloodstream and physically locking it into the bone tissue. Throwing raw, isolated calcium into an aging body is a recipe for heart disease, not bone health. The fourth trap is one that actively betrays the people trying to use it for relief. It is high-dose vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine. There is a dangerous myth that all B vitamins are perfectly safe because they are water-soluble, meaning you will just pee out whatever you don't need. While that is mostly true for things like vitamin B12, B6 is the dangerous exception. I had a patient, a 71-year-old retired postal worker in Orlando, Florida, whom I'll call Arthur. Arthur came to me because he was losing the feeling in his toes. His feet were constantly tingling, and he was terrified he had developed diabetic neuropathy. He didn't have diabetes, but he was taking a heavily marketed, over-the-counter, senior energy and nerve support B complex. He was swallowing massive doses of synthetic B6 every day. Because his aging kidneys couldn't clear the water-soluble excess fast enough, the B6 accumulated in his bloodstream. And the cruel irony of vitamin B6 is that while a normal amount protects your nerves, a toxic accumulation actually destroys them. The very supplement Arthur was taking to support his nerves was causing the severe peripheral neuropathy he was experiencing. Let me know in the comments right now, have you been dealing with unexplained tingling, numbness, or burning in your hands or feet while taking a nerve, vitamin G, NP, Argentine energy, or B complex supplement? This happens so frequently that it is one of the first things I check when a senior presents with neuropathy. Once we stopped Arthur's supplement, his nerve function slowly began to recover. It took months to clear the toxicity that never should have been there in the first place. This is exactly why I tell my patients to bring their physical pill bottles to their next appointment. Not just a written list, but the actual bottles. I want you to do this. Bring your bottles to your doctor or your pharmacist and ask them this exact question. Are the synthetic dosages in these specific pills safe for my current kidney and liver clearance rates? Do not let them just glance at it. Make them read the label. Now you know what to look out for. You know the 4 traps, but I am not here to just take things away from you. Because while your body might reject synthetic retinol, excess iron, isolated calcium, and toxic B6, there are 4 specific clinically backed nutrients that your aging metabolism is desperately starving for. These are the tools that actually protect your brain, calm your joints, and keep your heart beating in perfect rhythm. And how you combine them changes everything. The first nutrient on your vital list is magnesium, and in my clinic, I call this the master regulator. As you age, your body's cellular energy production naturally drops. Magnesium is the spark plug for over 300 different biochemical reactions in your body. It is the mineral that literally tells your heart muscle to relax after a beat. It tells your blood vessels to dilate so your blood pressure stays stable, and it tells your nervous system to quiet down so you can actually sleep through the night. But here's the problem. Our modern soil is heavily depleted of magnesium, and the metabolic shift means older kidneys tend to excrete magnesium faster than they should. If you suffer from leg cramps at night, unexplained heart palpitations, or a tight, anxious feeling in your chest, you are likely running on empty. You don't need a massive generic multivitamin, you need a highly absorbable form of magnesium, like magnesium glycinate, which your aging digestive tract can actually process without stomach upset. The second vital nutrient is vitamin D3. Now, I want you to stop thinking of D3 as a vitamin and start thinking of it as a master hormone. When you were 25, your skin was incredibly efficient at synthesizing vitamin D from sunlight. But by the time you reach 65, your skin's ability to manufacture this vital hormone drops by over 50%. You can stand in the sun all day and your body still won't make enough. You have to supplement it. D3 is the foundational building block for your immune system, your mood regulation, and your bone density. But because it is a fat-soluble hormone, you cannot just take it with a dry piece of toast and a cup of black coffee. If you do, it will pass right through you. You must take your D3 with a source of healthy dietary fat, like a handful of walnuts, a slice of avocado, or eggs cooked in olive oil, so your liver can properly absorb and utilize it. The third nutrient is the ultimate biological fire extinguisher, omega-3 fatty acids. As we established, aging inherently comes with a slow, creeping increase in systemic inflammation. Your joints ache, your brain gets foggy, and your arteries get stiff because your body is essentially on low heat all the time. Omega-3s, specifically the EPA and DHA forms found in high-quality fish oil or algae oil, cool that inflammation down at the cellular level. You don't just have to take my word for this. A massive, nationwide clinical study called the VITAL trial, which followed tens of thousands of older adults, confirmed that targeted omega-3 and vitamin D supplementation significantly reduced the risk of autoimmune flare-ups and provided major protective benefits for the cardiovascular system. Your brain is made of fat. Your joints require lubrication. Omega-3s provide the exact raw materials your body needs to maintain that structural integrity without adding to your toxic load. And finally, we reach the fourth solution. This is not a single pill, but rather the ultimate biological synergy, the combination of vitamin D3, magnesium, and vitamin K2 working together. This is how we safely replace that dangerous, isolated calcium trap we talked about earlier. When you combine these 3 nutrients, magic happens. The vitamin D3 pulls the natural calcium out of the healthy food you are eating. The magnesium acts as the ignition switch, activating the D3 so your body can actually use it. And then, most importantly, the vitamin K2 acts as the traffic cop. It grabs that calcium out of your bloodstream, steers it completely away from your heart and your arteries, and physically locks it into your bone tissue where it belongs. This is how you build a fortress out of your aging skeleton. You don't do it by throwing blind rogue calcium into your system. You do it by giving your body the exact hormonal traffic directors it needs to put the minerals in the right place. Remember Elaine, the retired teacher from Phoenix? Once we threw her outdated, generic multivitamin in the trash, stopped the iron overload that was rusting her joints, and put her on this exact, targeted routine of D3, K2, magnesium, and omega-3s, she got her life back. The heavy fatigue vanished. The throbbing ache in her knees faded into the background. She wasn't just wearing out, she was finally giving her 68-year-old body the exact metabolic instructions it had been begging for. Your health and your independence are your most valuable assets, and you have far more control over them than you think. You do not have to accept chronic pain and fatigue as a normal part of aging, but you do have to stop feeding your body instructions from 3 decades ago. So here is your homework. I want you to go to your kitchen or your bathroom right now. Pick up your multivitamin bottle, turn it around, and read the label. Look for synthetic retinol. Look for iron. Look for high-dose isolated calcium. Look for massive doses of vitamin B6. Check your bottle right now. Then, I want you to go to the comments below. Comment, "Ein sehr danster Schurdi, Essien sehr Churdi," starting today. If you are officially auditing your supplement routine, comment "Ihr Sinkers, die Konzerntigre, Ihr Sinkers, Irkin Kurzar Sirsin, Ursin Chinkers asking my doctor." If you are bringing your bottles to your next medical appointment to demand a real review, comment "Arnanis Herba Descansi, Ian Sensor Dinconsi, Your Cern Sensor, Ian Sensi, Your Sirs sending this." If you are sharing this video with a parent, a grandparent, or a friend over 60 who needs to know this, please send this to the people you care about. It is an act of genuine caretaking, and it could completely change the quality of their daily life. Make sure you save this video so you can reference these 4 vital nutrients later, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on the clinical truth about your health. I am Dr. Marcus Thorne. Stay informed, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video.